7 marks questions. History, Pak Studies, History 2059, Section 1, 1600 to 1900, 7 marks questions, or why questions. Explain why the Mughal Empire declined following the death of Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb's successors were inefficient. They proved to be lazy, corrupt, and luxury-loving, and left the state affairs to their courtiers and ministers, who were usually selfish. These weak successors became a victim to an extravagant lifestyle, as a result of which they failed to run and defend the huge empire effectively. State successes, the state resources were spent on personal comfort, and so the empire suffered from financial inefficiencies. One of the later Mughals was Muhammad Shah, who, because of his colorful lifestyle, was titled as Rangila. He could not defend his empire against the Persian invader Nader Shah Durrani. There was no law of succession, due to which the princes often fought for the throne on the death of the emperor. These wars of succession led to a division of the army, with various lobbies supporting various princes. Succession was usually decided by the ability of the individual princes and the support and strength they could get from the courtiers and the army. This fighting incurred huge loss of the state exchequer that should have been spent on the public welfare schemes and consolidating the empire. Aurangzeb had divided the empire among his 3 sons, but they too ended up fighting with each other. Invasions by the Persians, Afghans, and Europeans further accelerated the process of decline. Nader Shah Durrani sacked many cities in 1739, and Ahmad Shah Abdali repeatedly attacked India 1748 onwards. Gradually, fighting fighting wars became expensive, and the military was stretched and suffered from inefficiency and skills. It became hard to defend a vast empire and orthodox and outdated weapons and fighting tactics. It became hard to defend a vast empire with an orthodox and outdated weapons and fighting tactics. The British, who had been developing their army, fully exploited these weaknesses of a very rich Mughal empire that they overran with their advanced weapons, warfare, and clever strategies. Explain why the Hindu community objected to the jizya tax. Jizya was a special tax levied on physically fit non-Muslim adults by the Muslim government since the early history of Islam. India was a Hindu majority country where the Muslims ruled as a minority for centuries. The Mughal king Akbar had abolished it using his political expediency. Aurangzeb, being a staunch Muslim ruler, reimposed it in 1679. This greatly offended the Hindu community as they considered it a coercive measure of Muslim rulers. Protests and riots followed this announcement, but Aurangzeb remained undeterred and firm. In fact, he already had abolished many other taxes. Those Hindus who offered their services for the Mughal army were exempted from jizya. So many Hindus began to think it was an indirect means of forcing them to embrace Islam. Sometimes the amount of jizya exceeded the amount of zakat paid by the rich Muslims. This caused further resentment among the Hindus. They believed jizya as a special discriminatory tax collected by Muslims to keep themselves distinct from and superior unto their subjects. Quite often, the jizya money was spent on strengthening the Muslim army and meeting the royal expenses. Aurangzeb spent huge sums of money he had collected as jizya in his Deccan wars that were fought for 25 years. Moreover, he is reported to have used the same money for for promoting Islamic teachings and activities. So this was the last question of section 1, 7 marks question, section 1, 1600 to 1900. So in the end, I'd like to say like, subscribe and share. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.